Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. Not often does the theme song crack me, but it did today. It's just so absurd.
I mean, you've heard it like 325 times.
I know, but it's my name it's saying over and over. You understand?
No, yeah, I told you.
It's fucking bizarre.
The first time I ever heard it was
when
like
you're me.
2 years ago, and I was like, hey, Ross, like, new theme song is pretty funny, huh? Like, wanting to get your reaction, because I was like, I don't think I like this very much.
Wow.
But
harsh.
It grew on me a lot, and now I love it.
Like it's an acquired taste?
Well,
like beer?
I think I didn't realize that you knew it was absurd at first. Like, part of me was like...
You thought I thought it was just a jam?
Yes.
Like, straight up? That says a lot about what you thought about my judgment, frankly.
Yeah, I thought it was like was it like Young Thug?
But to be clear, it is a jam.
That meme of Young Thug in the studio?
Yeah.
I thought that was you looking over this beat.
Yeah, it still is, I think. It is a jam, Jared.
You know,
you're just an RBP theme song hater.
Is Kanye gonna...
A known RBP theme song hater.
Will Kanye sample the RBP theme song on Donda 3?
I don't think there's going to be a Donda 3. I think Donda 2 never ends. And we'll get to that later at the end of today's show. I am your host, Ross Bolen, back again with he's our co-host. We share him, all of us, not just me. It's not my co-host. He's not your co-host. He's our co-host.
It's not the first time I've been shared by a group of largely men.
Jared Borislow, who is fresh off a little vacay. Welcome back, J-Bone.
J-Bone, thank you.
Jared, I'm not sure if you heard, but while you were enjoying the weather in California last week, Russia invaded Ukraine. Pretty selfish of you to be on vacation during, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, when I first heard the news about the invasion, I was just pissed off and disappointed that we couldn't even get to the end of a pandemic without a potential World War III flaring up. Like, come on, Putin, you bald prick. Haven't the humans been through enough this past few thousand years? But after my initial depression and disappointment, holy mamacita, in the days that have passed since, this attempted invasion has become more and more embarrassing for Russia and Putin, and more impressive for Ukraine and Ukrainians as they stand up and fight for their nation and their lives. J-Bone, it turns out the Ukrainians aren't exactly rolling over. In fact, quite the opposite. And it turns out Russia isn't all that great at this whole war thing. It's almost like they just thought Ukraine would roll over or roll out the red carpet, and the government would run for the hills, and that would be that. But that is not that. And Russia is in some serious shit now. And to be abundantly clear, we are a pro-Ukrainian podcast. Jared, it turns out, is half Ukrainian. I found that out today.
Yep, half Ukrainian. I believe both of my father's great-grandparents left Ukraine during their lifetime. So, but 50% of me, my Jewish half, my Ashkenazi Jewish half, it is all Ukraine all day, baby. So, Slava Ukraini.
Yeah, we are pro-democracy, pro-freedom, and pro-furry. We stand with Ukraine and any sovereign democratic nation that is unrightfully invaded by a country whose leader rides horses shirtless for the clout.
Mm-hmm.
We stand with all of those countries.
I also like Ukraine's flag.
It is dope.
Like, those are two amazing colors that you don't often see on a flag together, yellow and blue.
They go well.
They do.
They go well. Makes me think of soccer.
Makes me think of the LA Chargers.
Brazil. Yellow and blue?
Oh, you know what? There is some blue on that flag. Most people would say green and yellow are the Brazilian colors, but there is blue on that flag.
Is that green and yellow that they rock?
But there
Weren't the
is
shorts
blue
and the shirts yellow at one point in their kits? And yes, I said kits. Soccer points for me.
You know what? I think you're right. I think they have a yellow kit and blue shorts. I'm thinking of the flag, though.
I'm a fucking genius. Soccer genius. In all seriousness, with all manner of inspiring stories of the Ukrainian people standing up to their Russian invaders coming from this conflict, perhaps the most inspiring and unbelievable remains that of Volodymyr Alexandrovich Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine. What makes Zelenskyy so special? Let's find out. Jared, hit the Stuff to Wikipedia When You're High theme song.
grab your light. This is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is Servant of the People. What is or was Servant of the People? It was a Ukrainian political satire comedy television series created and produced by one Volodymyr Zelenskyy, who stars as Vasil Petrovich Holoborodko, a high school history teacher in his 30s who was unexpectedly elected president of Ukraine after a viral video filmed by one of his students shows him making a profane rant against government corruption in his country. This series is produced by, I believe it's KVARTAL 95. Vartol? Is the K silent? Kvartal?
It's not silent, no.
95, which was founded by Zelenskyy. So he founded the production company that created the show.
On it.
What the fuck? Siri? Mind your business. At what point did I say anything that was even remotely close to Hey Siri? And then what did I say that it was looking... I X'd out too fast. I hate that the tech is listening to us, man.
Oh, yeah. That's a scary thing. It's like, hey, you know how your Alexa or your Google, like, they respond when you say, hey, Google, or
That means
hey,
they're
Alexa.
always listening.
Yeah, how do you think they hear you? They're always listening. They're recording you. I have one in my house. I need to unplug that shit. It freaks me out.
Fuck Mark Zuckerberg, dude. He's watching us all do stuff.
And Jeffrey Bezos and Sergey Brin. Is that his name?
Yeah, but I blame Zuckerberg for just constantly violating privacy to the point that nobody fucking cares anymore.
Yeah,
because there's no punishment.
He broke the seal. People are like, oh shit, look what Zuck's doing. Google's like, you know what? I guess we will record people. He got away with it.
I really do, in both jokes and real life, put it all at Zuckerberg's feet, though. I'm serious. I do. Anyway, so he founded the production company that produced the show, and then on March 31st, 2018, a political party named after the television series was registered with the Ministry of Justice. The series aired from 2015 to 2019, by the way.
Did he also star in the show?
Yes. It was immensely popular, okay? A political party bearing the same name as the television show was created, March 2018, by employees of Kvartal 95. Furthermore, Zelenskyy, who played the protagonist of the series as the president of Ukraine, was actually elected president of Ukraine in real life, April 21st, 2019, with over 70% of the second round vote. So to be clear, this is like if Michael Scott or Ted Lasso was elected president of the United States, but if instead of running the Scranton division of a paper supply company or coaching soccer games across the pond, Michael Scott or Ted Lasso was actually running for president as neither Democrat or Republican, and then Steve Carell or Jason Sudeikis actually ran for president in real life and won.
Yeah, well, some other things. It'd be like, what's Elaine from Seinfeld and Veep? What's her name again? Actress? I love her, but her name escapes me.
Shit.
If you've never podcasted, this happens quite a bit. Somebody who, like, in a normal conversation, you could rattle off 10 times out of 10. You're like, oh my gosh.
Well, I'm severely baked. I don't know what your excuse is. Her name is Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, her. It'd be like
Excuse
her being
me,
president.
And I think that was... It's like one of those times where I feel like if there were rules, then someone would come and take the microphone away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you forget Julia Louis-Dreyfus' name, it's like, what are you even doing here, bro?
Yeah. Or like David Palmer from 24.
Sure, absolutely. Back to Zelenskyy. So on top of refusing to back down to Putin's psychotic ass and refusing to abandon his country and flee instead of likely being murdered if things go poorly, holding it down for the good people of Ukraine, the dude is a comedian and actor who basically called his shot and paved his way to the Ukrainian presidency via television series, which is fucking incredible.
Another fact about him, I believe he is the only head of state outside of Israel to be Jewish.
Really?
Which is funny.
Like ever or right now?
Right now.
So it's like how there's only like one black NFL head coach?
Yeah, pretty much.
Two now.
So now what's
Go
funny
Texans.
about that?
Racist organization in the NFL. Everybody knows that about us. That's 3 in a row, baby.
A lot of people
3
say
in a
that.
row.
Now, Putin, part of the propaganda that they were doing in Russia, was saying that Ukraine was Nazi. and their leader
Oh,
is Jewish. The
That's-
only Jewish leader.
that is not even trying.
Mm-hmm.
That's a poor attempt at propagating.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word?
It's a word for sure.
One person tweeted, Zelensky's resume looks 100% fake. Law school grad, comedian, won Ukrainian Dancing with the Stars, Ukrainian voice of Paddington Bear, started a movie and television series about comedian who becomes president, then became president, source of Trump getting impeached, and held off Putin's army. Now, last one, I guess, is an active one, but all of those other things are true. He was the voice of Paddington Bear in Ukraine.
Who was the voice of Paddington Bear in America? Tom Hanks or some shit? It's a pretty interesting.
Why couldn't we have gotten more creative with who we elect?
No,
Well, the closest we've come is a reality TV star who fired people as a thing.
yeah, that's probably about as close as you could get.
I'm saying that's the shittiest possible version of this.
Well, if he was a good reality TV
People
star,
liked Reagan.
well, they did then. Turns out, you're looking back on it, revisionist history, not so
You don't
good.
think his policies would reflect well in 2022?
No, I think
You don't think trickle down economics could be sold in 2022?
the war on drugs.
Or that was Nancy's fault. Don't put that on Ron.
Well, Nancy, she could get
What
away
the
with
hell happened there? What the hell happened there?
it. Which thing?
You know. You were about to bring it up.
Nancy Reagan gives better dome than anybody in the history of America.
What the hell, I repeat, happened there? How the fuck did all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, the whole internet was like Nancy Reagan? And I know if you're listening right now and you're like, I'm not an internet person, I just like podcasts and you guys are funny, then I'm sorry. Because you're about to find out some shit that only internet people know. And maybe it turns out a lot of men in the late 80s, early 70s, and everything in between. Nancy Reagan, allegedly, according to the internet, and this isn't
According to
something
a
we
book.
planned on talking about today. I know this isn't like new news, because this was weeks and weeks ago. This went like viral again. According to some book, I guess, that came
Yes.
out, she gave incredible blowjobs.
They called her the throat goat.
And often. And in an era where that wasn't like, porn didn't exist yet. Porn really mainstreamed the blowjob. People didn't talk about getting their dick sucked before everybody was watching people get their dick sucked. You didn't talk about it.
Mhm.
Nobody was the throat goat. You would think. But it turns out it was Nancy Reagan, allegedly, which is so bizarre that I'm still trying to wrap my head around that not being a bit somebody wrote.
Yeah, the idea is like she was, very popular. I believe it was in the film industry, and this is for like execs in the film industry and stuff.
This is how Ron got those roles? Because he was kind of a shit actor. Have you ever watched one of these things?
No,
That
actually,
guy fucking sucked.
was he hot?
He was a handsome guy. I wouldn't throat him.
I mean, yeah, but the rumor has it Nancy Reagan. We don't shame women on this podcast, but rumor has it.
How is this shaming?
I'm saying I'm not
She
shaming.
was goated in the throat department. That's her business, bro.
She liked to flaunt her abilities to blow and suck on a bunch of men high up in the Hollywood elite.
Let's not make sex a negative thing on our show.
Not at all.
Sex is a positive thing. We should embrace
I support
throating each other.
I support Nancy Reagan sucking off a bunch of different men in Hollywood in the 60s, 70s,
Hey,
and 80s.
if Ron was cool with that, then I have absolutely no judgment to offer. Now, if he didn't know, that's fucked up, Nance.
What if
you
he
shouldn't
was
just go around throat goating people?
Do you think that Ronald Reagan ever was a cuckold and stood in the corner while Nancy Reagan throated a man?
No, he didn't strike me as that type of cat. But he does strike me as the type of cat who would go, let's have an open marriage. Let's just you can go. You know what? That thing is too great for me to keep all to myself. Go share your throat with other goats. And I bet he said that.
Do you think it ever trickled down her chin?
Jesus. I don't think anybody's reputation has ever gone from so high to so low after they died than Ron.
Yeah.
Like he really was one of the goats, presidential goats, and then now just every day he
We
strays
sold-
further from the Lord's light.
We sold so much Ronald Reagan merch for us.
We did.
We sold
so
hundreds of thousands
Oh
of
my
dollars
God, yeah.
worth
The
of Ronald
kids.
Reagan merch.
The right-wing kids, they fucking love Reagan Bush, man. Paid for like 7 years of my life, probably. Bless them.
I heard Nancy Reagan actually hated Bush because it would get caught in her teeth.
Oh man. This is what I mean.
Oh my God.
The Reagan's reputation has been absolutely throttled.
Yeah, it's true.
Not the other word. This is disgusting.
I would say Nancy Reagan's
I just don't want to
reputation-
think about an old lady, man.
No, she
I
was
don't.
not
Nancy
old then.
Reagan doesn't pop up as young Nancy in my head,
She is, though.
but she doesn't pop up as that. Now she pops up as a decrepit corpse,
So when you think of this story, you think of an 85-year-old woman
dead in the ground, being throated.
being throated?
Isn't she dead?
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah,
I believe Ronald Reagan died in the same day as the Kentucky Derby.
throating, I guess, but she's being like, because she's dead, she can't. What?
Rest
Dude,
in
what is
peace.
happening here?
Rest in peace.
Sweet Jesus, forgive me.
Oh, man. Yeah, Ronald Reagan.
Oh my God. What? Okay. Yes, Ronald Reagan, rest in peace. And also, there's that weird internet thing that we shared with you about Nancy, who also was the main
Question.
war on drugs person.
Last thing we're going to say here, because I believe, like you said, not planned. We have a whole podcast to get to. I don't want to take away from it. But
Take away from it.
Much like how people say nowadays, the weed of today makes the weed of the 70s look like crappy swag grass, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Nancy Reagan's blowjobs would have aged to the point? Because we've become very advanced.
Yes, because I don't think that has changed much.
Really?
Like, I think technique may have evolved, and there's like certain, but I think it's like fashion. And the blowjob and fashion have both existed for a long time, and they're kind of cyclical, and things come and go from trend. Maybe at one point people didn't mind the stepchildren, but now they mind the stepchildren, and that means play with the balls. At least in,
Mm-hmm.
Cer-
Mr.
in
Gorbachev.
certain circles. Who the fuck talks like that? Who says that?
Mr. Gorbachev, pull down those pants and let Nancy get after that thing.
Mr. Gorbachev, show me your balls so my wife can throat them. Yep. That's called Revisionist History with Jared and Ross. Anyway, that segment was about the Ukrainian president before things went a little sideways. Thank you for bearing with us. This episode of RBP is also brought to you by Cuts Clothing. There's already a lot on our minds. The last thing we want to be spending too much energy on is what to wear. Cuts Clothing has perfected the art and science of men's shirts, so you can throw one on and look great without ever having to think twice about it. Every Cuts shirt is designed for a modern, tailored fit, and they're insanely comfortable. Plus, Cuts has all the essentials for looking sharp, like tees, hoodies, polos, and more, so you can stop bouncing between brands to shop for different shirts. Cuts became world famous for making shirts that look as great as they feel. Whatever life throws your way, I'm wearing Cuts 3 to 5 times a week currently. Their Crew Curve hem is my go-to tee, but whatever cut you pick, they make the best t-shirts ever, bar none, no competition, and they've got incredible outerwear as well for winter months. I'm a huge fan of the new bomber jackets. Everybody loves a good bomber jacket, and the power vest is there as well for those of you who desire power. They've got Henleys, polos, Sherpas, hoodies, joggers, everything you need. We've reached the point where you could wear Cuts and only Cuts for every layer of your outfit and legitimately look great. Join hundreds of thousands of guys who have made the simple decision to elevate their wardrobe with Cuts. Get 15% off your order by going to cutsclothing.com/RBP. That's CUTS clothing.com/RBP for 15% off. The only shirt worth wearing. I have some insane headlines of the day for you.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, some of them may involve Ukraine, but not this first one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
New York man wins $10 million lottery for the second time in 3 years.
Got to be cheating.
Nope. From USA Today, a New York man defied lottery odds after winning $10 million from a scratch-off game, and it's the second time in 3 years he has won it. Juan Hernandez of Uniondale in Nassau County won New York's lottery $10 million deluxe scratch-off game this month. New York Lottery announced on a Tuesday. This Tuesday. It is today. is what I'm saying, Jared. New York Lottery said this is Hernandez's second win after he won the same amount in 2019, winning the top prize in the $350 million cash spectacular scratch-off ticket. Hernandez said in the release he is, quote, still trying to spend the $10 million, end quote, that he won 3 years ago.
That's not how money works.
The odds of winning the $10 million deluxe scratch-off game one time is 1 in 3.52 million. This dude did it twice. So, if you would, imagine for me winning a $10 million lottery and being degenerate enough to remain a scratcher and winning again as a result.
Okay. I think this might be a false flag put out by Big Scratcher to get people to believe that scratch-offs could pay off.
Like, because if Juan can win twice,
Surely you're dumbass.
then surely
can win once.
I can win once.
Yes.
Right?
What else? How else is this possible? That's a 1 in 7 million chance that would happen.
Yeah, a little over 1 in 7 million chance that you could win twice. It's fucked up.
So, okay, after taxes, he's probably taking home like $6 million each time.
Nah, because the odds are even worse than that. Because think about it. If he played every single one of them, like 1 in 3.52 million is that's the odds to win it once, right?
Yeah.
So, fuck it, I can't do math.
I think it would be
We
still.
already canceled math for this reason, you and I.
Yeah. Nope.
We did.
If you have a TI-83 right now, throw it out your fucking window.
Yeah, it's over. No more school counting, boys and girls.
Remember graphing calculators?
Yes.
They were calculators that graphed.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. They cost like $75. You had to have one. What the fuck? Do you have any idea how much $75 was to some people when I was in grade school?
Like of
It's
all
a shit ton of money, dude.
It's so much money. And of all the time,
That's several meals of food is the point. You're asking a kid to tell his parents, fuck several meals of food, we need you to pay for this piece of tech that, since Jared and Ross on the Ross Bolen podcast canceled math, is irrelevant.
I mean, of all the stuff they were like, you need to learn this because when you're older, you're going to be using it a lot. Obviously, cursive's the main one. But I think using a graphing calculator, what the fuck was the point of that?
Dude.
Why are we even teaching kids this shit?
I own a small business, and I do math like 3 times a year. Period.
Do you ever, and not even that.
Because even then, I'm not doing any math. I'm not doing any math. I'm typing it into a fucking machine that literally immediately gives me the answer.
And then,
So I'm not doing any math.
but this is barely even math. What is this, calculus? Isn't it? Sine, cosine, tangent, the
Who the fuck's idea was it to spend so many years on all that shit? You know how many different triangles I know the name for? At least 3.
what are they?
Isosceles, obtuseles. All right, maybe I just know one.
Equilateral.
Shit, there's another?
And then there's isosceles, equilateral, and cumulonimbus.
Cumulonimbus. Yeah, that's a cloud. We did good. We did great. Why is it that we need to start making clips of things that make us look smart? Because I know what we just did is going to be a clip now, and it's going to make us look stupid. And people on the social media think we're morons.
Rhombus.
Rhombus, yeah.
That's not.
Please clap.
That's not a triangle.
Shit. We're counting it.
Please clap.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you. Anyway, this guy won twice. Fucking psychopath.
Right triangle.
There you go.
Fuck yeah, that's the third one.
There we go. We really did it. Champions of the world. Next headline. Teen who tracked Elon Musk's plane launches Russian oligarch jets account. Are you even familiar with the dude who tracked Elon's plane?
No, I've never heard the story.
Oh my God, it's great. Okay, so it becomes part of this story. From The Hill. Jack Sweeney, the teenager who made headlines tracking Tesla CEO Elon Musk's private plane, has launched another Twitter account that tracks planes of Russian oligarchs amid the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Bloomberg News reported on Monday. Sweeney told Bloomberg he created Russian oligarch jets at RU Oligarch Jets after receiving requests as the U.S. and its allies unveiled sweeping sanctions on Moscow and its elite. Russian oligarch Jets has tracked the helicopters, private jets, and commercial-sized airplanes of prominent Russians, including Chelsea Football Club owner Roman Abramovich, the nation's wealthiest person, according to Bloomberg. The aircrafts these oligarchs have are absolutely crazy, said Sweeney, 19 years old, saying that Russia's wealthy love to fly in commercial-sized aircraft such as the Airbus A319 and Boeing 737.
Those are huge.
Their planes are huge compared to other jets, he added. Reports emerged last month that Musk had offered Sweeney $5,000 to shut down a Twitter account that tracks his private flights. Quote, I don't love the idea of being shot by a nutcase, end quote, Musk said in the direct message to Sweeney, according to protocol. Sweeney also runs 15 flight tracking accounts using a bot that he created that automatically posts when a celebrity flight leaves or lands at an airport. Sweeney's account tracking Musk's flights has the most followers with more than 97,000, and it's popularity led Musk to send a direct message to Sweeney. And Sweeney responded to that with, any chance to up that to 50K? And nobody answered, and he said it would be great support in college and would possibly allow me to get a car, maybe even a Model 3.
Is that what you have?
It is. That's what I drive.
Please clap.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you. Also a hero. Okay, so first of all, the story about Elon Musk is hilarious because, Elon likes to make himself look like the guy who lives in a tiny house, like outside of Austin or whatever. And his wife left him, and everybody knows that. We have that in common. But it's fucking hilarious to see this guy made this flight tracker and he's bouncing all over the place, man. It's crazy. So it doesn't look good and he doesn't want that to be public information. On top of that, it's a weird safety thing, right? So he offers the kid $5,000 to take it down, and the kid counters with tenfold, asking for 50 and can't get a response. But then he's now using his powers for, I would argue, even better good, which is to see I had no idea that Russia's oligarchy was as large as it is. When we keep hearing that word, oligarchy, and I was thinking I thought it was 6 guys. It's not.
No, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, so do you know how
And they fly a lot in these gigantic motherfucking private planes that make only Drake has that.
Do you know how the oligarchy began?
I do not. Enlighten me.
The fall of the USSR led to all of these, in communism, all of the major, utilities are nationalized, right?
Right.
So Russia owns the water company and the electricity
Power
company and the
company.
trash and the oil production and the gas, all that shit. The country owns it. When the USSR fell and they became capitalist,
Back in the USSR.
all of those industries became privatized. But they already all had their massive reach. It's not like the CEO comes in, has to start his own company up. It's like, hey, here you go. You can have this company essentially. And so high up people in power just got these huge companies and they became the heads of them. And so the funny thing is this though. I think the only thing that makes them oligarchs is the fact that many of them were either handed or inherited these massive corporations. But in terms of how much power they have, it's just the same as America's billionaires.
Yeah,
but more corrupt because it's Russia and they have more power politically than they would do in America.
Yeah, because I don't feel like you're not wrong. At least the really popular billionaires that we hear about a lot, like Bezos, does he have a ton of political power?
Oh yeah. Well, he has a lot of money, so that's the same thing.
Well, Elon doesn't. As an example.
Well, he could. He could
don't know.
buy.
Joe
he could
Biden
buy people.
refuses to even acknowledge that Tesla exists. It's really funny.
Well, Joe Byron.
He's a coal guy, right?
Yeah. He used to work in a coal mine.
Joe Byron.
Oh man,
What a great fucking
what's
show
he
that
up to?
was. Which guy? Biden or the guy who said Joe Byron?
Both.
Both? No one knows the answer to either. Oddly enough. Next headline. A top Estee Lauder executive has been forced out over an offensive Instagram post.
Okay, how offensive are we talking?
White. From NPR, after more than 3 decades at one of the world's largest cosmetic companies, Estee Lauder announced it has terminated senior executive John Dempsey after he posted a racially offensive meme on Instagram last week. Dempsey, who served as the company's executive group president, will leave the company and retire on March 4th, according to a recent regulatory filing. In a statement released Monday, the cosmetics company said that Dempsey's filing was the result of his, quote, recent Instagram posts, which do not reflect the values of the Estee Lauder companies, saying his post caused widespread offense. Estee Lauder said Dempsey was informed he must, quote, leave the company effective this weekend, quote, as first reported by the Wall Street Journal last week. One of Dempsey's Instagram posts on his personal account featured a meme of a Sesame Street parody book cover. In an article by Insider, the meme referred to one of the characters using the N-word, saying he, quote, done got the Rona at a Chingy concert, end quote. The Rona referring to a COVID-19 coronavirus. The meme has since been deleted from Dempsey's Instagram account. I mean, it's absolutely fucking idiotic. Like, it's not even remotely close to being on the border where you're like, I don't know, is this going to be offensive? It's like if you wanted to get fired, this is the meme you put up as a white dude.
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely... And he says he didn't read it first. Who the fuck posts a meme they didn't even read?
And who posts memes to a personal Instagram?
You know how I know that's bullshit? Because this would have happened a long time ago. If he was already at the point where he was firing off memes without reading them at all, that big of a meme lord that he was just like, meme. Got to share these memes, not even reading them, just sharing memes that I haven't even read. Who the fuck does that, dude? It's like when Trump argued that he hadn't read the things he was retweeting because he kept retweeting white nationalists, and people were like, hey, could you stop retweeting white nationalists? And he was like, I didn't know they were white nationalists. I don't even read. I just click retweet. That was the Don. Fucking loved Twitter, that guy. And they took it from him.
Yeah, I do miss the tweets.
Can they give it back to him in like 10 years?
I want to know.
I mean, I get that he can't have it back right now, and I get it. But in like 10 years.
Do you think he still has access to like... Do you think it lets him get into the tweet creator and then it just doesn't let him post? Because then he might have such good drafts.
I don't even think it lets him log in, dude.
Think about the drafts.
Oh my God.
Wait, he has to have a burner. Holy fuck, he has to... Okay.
Oh, I didn't even think about this.
Ross, can we
The odds that he doesn't have a burner
Zero.
are 0.0%.
We need to be the people to find the Donald Trump burner account.
It's out there somewhere, Jared. It's just in a sea of burners. That's the Kevin Durant has like 26.
Yeah. And remember Mitt Romney? Ashley... What's there?
I still don't have one. The fact that I don't have a burner is stupid. I'm making a burner. What should I name it? We can't talk about that then. It wouldn't be a good burner.
It would not be a burner.
Yeah, that'd be violating the rules of burning.
What are you going to use it for? To like reply to your haters?
Yes. Well, I can't really talk shit from my account anymore because it's my job.
You mean
it just becomes too annoying to deal with the feedback. Like, I want to talk shit somewhere where there's no it's not a massive pool of feedback.
Do you mean you can't do the thing like that one time the guy asked why you painted your nails and then you implied that his mom wanted to fuck you?
I don't think I said that directly.
I said you implied it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I probably made a joke that implied it. That I believe. That I believe. But no, I'm still going to do that on the main account, to answer your question. On Saturday, this guy, by the way, was making a reported $10 million a year and risking it all to put memes up on the gram to just pull some likes, bro.
That's only one scratch-off ticket. It's not that much money.
That's true, Jared. Holy shit, you're good at math. Math is back on the menu, baby. Next headline. Ukrainian Sailor tried sinking his boss's $7 million yacht and regrets nothing. That's from Vice. Love getting a good Vice article in here. From Vice. Angered by the ongoing Russian attacks in Ukraine, a Ukrainian sailor executed his own version of justice over the weekend by attempting to sink a Russian tycoon's super yacht. Identified in local reports as D. Terrace O., he was the chief engineer of super yacht Lady Anastasia. He was said to have watched a video on Saturday which showed a Russian cruise missile as having struck a residential building in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. The sailor believed that the missile he saw in the video was manufactured by a company owned by Alexander McKeev, his boss and the owner of the Lady Anastasia super yacht he worked on. The 55-year-old decided to take matters into his own hands at Port Adriano, a marina on the Spanish island of Mallorca. that is known for housing boats of the ultra-rich. The Sailor opened a large valve in the engine room and then another in the crew members' quarters. He also closed the fuel valves to prevent pollutive leaks and switched off the electricity. Then he told crew members to abandon ship. When the Ukrainian Sailor instructed his fellow crew members to evacuate the Lady Anastasia, he was told that he was crazy. He said in a statement made to court on Sunday. In response, he reminded the crew members that they too were Ukrainians whose country was under attack and that he would take full responsibility for the damaged yacht. Quote, "My boss is a criminal who sells weapons that kill the Ukrainian people," end quote, he told guards who arrived at the scene to arrest him. McKeev is the CEO of Rosoborona Export, a Russian state-owned military weapons supplier and one of the biggest players in the international arms market. Previously, McKeev helmed Russian helicopters, which produces both civilian and military helicopters. In court, the Sailor said that he only wanted to cause, quote, material damage, end quote, as an act of revenge, but not any personal harm to the owner. They were attacking innocents, he told the judge when brought to court. "I don't regret anything I've done, and I would do it again." The Sailor was released on Sunday, and it remains unclear what he has been charged with. What a fucking hysterically badass move. Like, I don't know. Killing the guy would probably be a bit odd, considering neither of you is actively involved in the conflict. Or I guess, well, I don't know. Never mind. If you're coming across, this is like how they attack Tony Stark in the Marvel movies, because they're pissed off that he and his dad's company produces weapons that then their countries in the Middle East get attacked with in the beginning of the Iron Man story, Iron Man 1.
Similar, yeah.
I mean, I don't know, bro.
As a creator of a weapon, are you responsible for everything the weapon is used for?
Probably.
So you think Albert Einstein has an unbelievable amount of blood on his hands?
Yes. Just an incredible amount.
And in his hair,
Blood
probably.
and guts. Yeah, all over his body. But yeah, I don't know, man. If you told me, like, if you know, my family and our people had been being blown the fuck up for decades and decades and decades and decades, in my eyes, wrongfully so, and you told me this is the person who was making those bombs, I'm probably going to try to off that dude in my, you know, action movie that I'm in, starring in.
How are you gonna try to kill him?
With piano wire.
It's a really personal.
Yeah, that's right. It's fucking personal, baby. What? I'm wearing gloves.
Okay, piano. Are piano stores on like a FBI watch list? Like, hey, who came in and just bought piano wire? You think they don't fucking
know? You think they don't know? The guy who's coming in to buy piano because he's a damn piano nerd versus the guy who's coming in to buy piano because he's about to go murder someone with it. It's so obvious, I bet. Actually, I don't know. You see some crazy pianists.
No, I agree with you. If you're at a piano supply store,
you know.
and a guy walks in, he's got a bunch of tattoos,
Leather jacket,
bulging fucking muscles, just oiled up, huge bulge in his pants, and he comes in and he's like, "Hey, I want some fucking piano wire to kill somebody with," and this bulge in his pants is massive. He has an erection.
Did you just actively avoid an Italian accent because you didn't want to be racist?
No, I was thinking.
Just say it's James Gandolfini's ghost.
I was actually thinking more so like Eastern European.
Fucking love The Sopranos.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, they know.
The bulge is huge in this.
They
guy's
know
pants.
it. Why do you have to have a giant cock? What did that have to do with anything? Or maybe it's just the balls. I was talking about this the other day to myself, and that when you see bulge, like people assume like that dude's got a huge dick. Actually, balls create more bulge than dick.
Well, the balls push
unless
the dick.
you have like a bulbous dick, which is a problem.
The balls, if they have large balls, it could push the dick up. Like that
Yep.
one picture of that pig.
You don't want that, dude. That's weird.
The picture of that pig that pooped on its own balls.
It's unpleasant looking. Why were you looking at pictures of pigs that poop on their balls?
You've never seen this picture. It's a very, very big meme.
What kind of a question is that?
Go to Google right now.
I'm on it.
Type in pig that poops on its own balls.
Pig poop balls. I'm just doing 3 words, baby. I'm a pro. First thing is knowyourmeme.com. Pig poop balls. Jesus.
You ever seen that picture?
Okay, no picture yet, but oh, what, dude? It's fucking blurred out. It says sensitive. Warning, graphic content. Bitch, I'm 34 years old. What? I just thought to look at. Anyway, it says pig poop balls refers to an image of a pig having just defecated with the feces resting on its large testicles. That's what it says. Dude, this is what we're up to down here, though, like on Earth. This is what we're fucking doing down here with our time. I'm serious. It's problematic. Big poop balls? There's a whole goddamn article explaining it. Fucking 700 words here, man. This would take me 20 minutes to read. Oh my God. I'll read you the last sentence. For example, the image appeared in a July 2016 thread complaining about the amount of homosexual couples in the comic, resulting in the thread being locked. See? How the hell did we go from a simple explanation of pig poop balls, which just in and of itself shouldn't exist, by the end of the 750-word article that would take me 20 minutes to read, they're talking about some kind of controversy. How the fuck do we have this much time on our hands? Pig poop balls controversies.
To bring it all back, though, the idea is the balls push up whatever's on top of them. So like you said, could be a big bulge. It's like mostly balls.
Oh, man, that is a funny-ass picture.
You finally saw it. Yeah, the sensitive content warning went away.
Come on. Oh, man, that's funny, though. But I don't like it. It's so funny, though.
Like, how annoying would that be if you're that pig? You can't poop without pooping on your balls.
Well, it's like, sit down, dude. You can't sit down without sitting on your balls either. Man, see? Balls.
The pig just like the pig has already accepted everything.
They're problematic.
He doesn't even care anymore.
Big ass pig balls though, with a big old poop on it. It's a healthy poop though. Looks good.
It's solid. It's not
solid.
I don't want to see that pig poop diarrhea.
See, that's the thing. You get an upset stomach, and you next thing you know, your balls are all gross.
Yeah.
While this is impressive, that would not be. That would be just disturbing.
Yeah.
You know.
I would, if it had diarrhea, it'd look like a chocolate covered apple.
Yeah. And if that upset you, today's episode is also brought to you by Talkspace. I've been in therapy for many
That's a really good segue.
many years, but I cannot stress enough how enormous it has been for me since the end of 2019, starting my own company, going through a divorce, dealing with the pandemic, and getting off antidepressants. It has been one of, if not the most important factor to my ability to cope and find happiness and success again. And in times like these, having someone you trust and love to talk to is more important than ever. But even the best relationships can hit a few bumps in the road. We've all been there. You feel unheard. You have the same arguments over and over, and you just don't know how to move forward. And with your personal, like, sexual relationships, or with your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, it's difficult to talk to your just friends or family about that stuff, because they'll give you, like, blanket advice, basically. But they don't want to get too personal, because then if they're wrong, you know, that's how it is for most people. It's really difficult to find somebody who can really give you good advice about your relationships. Talkspace gives you unlimited access to a licensed therapist so you can clear up the confusion and focus on what matters most, being the best person and partner you can be. Relationships are more difficult than ever to manage this last couple years, with so many of us stuck at home for one reason or another, working from home, spending less time socializing and having fun than perhaps we would like. And sometimes it's hard to take a step back and see things objectively. Talkspace makes it easy to connect with a therapist that can give you valuable and honest insight on what you're going through. It really gives you all the benefits of traditional therapy without the hassle and the waiting and, you know, having to go to a doctor's office or a therapist's office or whatever. Your dedicated Talkspace therapist can help you get to the root of your problems so you can work through them instead of ignoring them. And with asynchronous messaging and options for live video sessions, you can talk on a schedule that works for you. No need to wait for an appointment. Plus, Talkspace's encryption and added security features keep your conversation fully protected. Just join Talkspace today and start the journey to happier, healthier relationships. Just visit Talkspace.com. Get $100 off your first month when you use promo code RBP at sign up. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com. Promo code RBP.
Thank you.
So, thank you. You're welcome. So after jamming Donda 2 for a few days with my $300 Kanye sex toy here, shouts to, why isn't it lighting up anymore, Jared? My sex toy appears to have died on me.
I want to point out.
Nope, it's back on.
I asked Ross before the show, I said, hey, Ross, wait, is this real? Like, can you really only legally get Donda 2 if you have a stem player? And
yes, the answer is yes. Legally, you have to own a stem player from stemplayer.com to listen to Donda 2. And I bitched on Patreon last week because initially when I plugged it in to upload the album off of stemplayer.com, like literally that's how simple it is. You plug it into your computer, you go to the website. It's pretty cool. The website's bootleg as fuck, but the process is cool. It only put 4 songs on there, and I was like, what the $300, man, $250 before taxes and shipping. and it was 4 songs, and I was like, this is bullshit. Well, then it updated, and it's like this ongoing process, which is why I said at the beginning of the show, like, Donda 2 will never be finished, because I don't know that he'll ever stop adding and subtracting, and like, there's like 15 tracks that are on the unreleased track list, and 16 tracks that are currently actively, as I speak, on the Donda 2 album on stemplayer.com that you access with your stem player. But yeah, because of his ownership over the outlet that gives people the music, he can just change it as many times as he wants. So we'll see what he does, but
You need to narc on anybody you see illegally listening to this album.
I might do it to Cade. I know he's got content. Cade has got it, man, and I might have to throw him under the bus here, and he'll be the first person I narc on to get my narking career started, because, yeah, that's bullshit. You stop narking. I mean, you stop stealing, and I'll never stop narking.
I mean, it's actually fucked up. Like, you paid for that fair and square. That's like, it's like taking a cab ride and then just running out of the cab afterwards and not paying the cab driver, you know?
I'll narc on that person, too. There's certain things I will narc for. 100%. Anyway, this thing might not be finished, but the current iteration is amazing. It is 16 tracks that make up a much more comprehensive version of what I think Kanye has been trying to accomplish really since Jesus is King, where it's a clean album, there's no cursing, it's all blanked out or whatever, bleeped out, not bleeped out, but just blanked. It just goes, there's no lyric there. Which happens a lot more on this than Donda 1, I would note. There's a lot of people who are just like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to rap like I always do, and then you can take out the damn curse words after fact if you want. But the in terms of, like, I've listened to it probably 4 or 5 times through. So my favorite songs currently would be the opening track, True Love, featuring XXX Tentacion, as I like to call him. The second track, Broken Road, featuring Don Toliver. The third track, Get Lost. And I'll say the 10th track, Happy, featuring Future. Do I look happy to you? I fucking love that song. And it's sad saying this, as I know that very few of you have actually listened to this thing, because who the hell would pay $250 to get a Kanye West album? I don't think anyone with a reasonable mind would.
Which is the song with Migos?
That would be We Did It, Kid. That song is awesome, too. There's a lot of really good ones. Just my favorite 4 right now would be those 4.
And there's one, you were playing this before the show, they kept talking about Pablo, and I always wonder this. So there's...
Wait, no, that's Pablo.
Yeah, there's the album, The Life of Pablo. Who is Pablo? Is Kanye Pablo?
I thought it was Pablo Escobar from The Life of Pablo. That was like the inspiration for that title or whatever. I still don't know why that was, but since then I think Pablo is supposed to be Kanye. But yeah, it's a reasonable question. Who the fuck is Pablo? And it's just an odd, that's the chorus. Who they waiting on? That's Pablo.
Well,
and it's like everybody named Pablo is absolutely living it up right now.
Here's what I don't understand, though. They say, who they waiting on? That's Pablo, right?
Right.
It's very clearly, we don't know who this Pablo is. I know who it's not. It's not Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Sports, because he is fast. They would not be waiting on him.
They would not be waiting on him. He had the speed.
He had a lot of skills. Unbelievable.
Pablo Sanchez, man.
First draft
Speaking
pick.
of goats, it's another goat.
We've mentioned 2 goats in this episode.
2 goats.
Throat goat.
Well, 3. Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely goated.
And Zelenskyy, maybe.
Yeah. There are some bad songs. Oh, I like this song called Security, too. Or just, it's called Security. I also like the song that's called Security. There we go. And it's basically just a nonstop threat to Pete Davidson and Kim.
He
doesn't say either of their names, but the whole song is like, I'll put your security at risk. You gonna need security for this. Like, I'm gonna make your security quit, saying we don't get paid enough for this. Like,
that's you like that?
The song is tight. The lyrics are dangerous and aggressive and threatening. And like, I have said over and over, the way he has handled this divorce situation is completely unacceptable and embarrassing. It is. There is no way around that. This is everything he has done since Kim left is fucking pathetic, and he needs to get his shit together and stop harassing the mother of his children publicly or privately. But that security song is dope. And I kind of do hope he beats Pete Davidson's ass at some point. I just kind of hope that fight happens. It's not necessarily that I want to see Pete Davidson get his ass kicked. I just want to see them fight.
Part of me wonders if the reason why he's so torn up about the whole Kim thing is like maybe Kim is the throat goat.
I mean, I don't. She's at least in contention. I think a lot of people would argue, based on public evidence, frankly, with Ray J.
Raycons, code RBP.
I'm just kidding. That porn was boring as fuck. It's one of the strangest things about the Kim Kanye relationship to me. This man is an admitted pornography addict. He's watched a lot of porn. And you're telling me he watched the Kim Kardashian Ray J sex tape and went, that's it. That's my dream woman right there.
Yeah. Now,
for every dude that was my age when that thing came out, you watched it and you went, this is fucking stupid. And then you and you walked off and went to church. Every one of you.
so my fraternity, we had a chapter meeting in college, and I remember at one point the president holds up a piece of paper and he goes, "Hey, so the internet service provider shut down our service for a week because somebody here torrented the Kim Kardashian sex tape." First off, this is like 2014. Like, who the fuck is torrenting porn after the year like 2003?
I won't lie to you. Once I tried to figure out how a torrent works, because I kept trying to get video games for free mostly, and it would be like, torrent this. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So finally one day I broke, and I'm like, I'm going to get a torrent. I'm going to torrent this fucking video game, because video games are $59.99, so it's too much money. Back then it was. Now it needs to be free, or I'm out. Sorry, Elden Ring. But what was my story about, Jared?
You were saying you learned how torrenting works, and you
Yeah, so I went for it, and I was like, I'm gonna get a torrent, and I know a lot about technology and the internet. Like, surely I can figure out how to work a torrent. Hadn't the slightest freaking clue. Hours of my life sucked from my soul for nothing. Never figured it out. Never torrented anything in my whole life. Still to this day, could not tell you what a torrent is. Like most people can't tell you what a Bitcoin is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all I know is that the Bitcoin helps the economy, and it hurts nobody.
Hurts nobody. Also, City of Gods, featuring Alicia Keys and Fabio Foreign. That's another one of my favorite tracks off Donda 2. There are some bad songs. One of them is Louis Bags, the entirety of which consists of Kanye going, "I stopped buying Louis bags after Virgil died," over and over and over and over. And you're like, what the fuck is this? It's just like a whole track dedicated to driving down the price of Louis bags.
Where's Jack Harlow in this song?
And then Jack Harlow comes in and like spits a dope verse, but by the time he comes on, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore, because Kanye has said, I stopped buying Louis bags after Virgil died 72 times at that point.
What do you think Jack's feeling like right now about that?
Top of the world.
Because
I don't think he gives a shit which song he ended up on, as long as he got on there. And frankly, maybe it's one of those songs that'll age on me, but I don't see it.
Do you think Jack Harlow is going to go down as one of the best white rappers of all time?
Yes. It is a very short list you have to climb to get near the top.
Eminem.
It is not long.
Okay, Eminem.
Yellow Wolf.
Lil Dicky.
Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf.
Just Yellow
Action
Wolf.
Bronson.
Vanilla Ice.
Tech Nine.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, that's actually a good one. Amidst all the jokes.
Did you say Tech Nine? Dr. Dre. Yeah, no, we've got some. But seriously, there's not that many good white rappers, so it doesn't take that long to get to the top. He's definitely already up there.
You ever seen Justin Bieber spitting a verse over Otis?
I don't ever want to see that. Why the fuck would I do that to Otis?
Kind of slaps.
I don't.
Do you know how the intro to Otis goes? It's like, "No, never leave her."
Yes,
Right?
I know how the intro to
Okay.
Otis goes, Jared.
Now, I watched this last night. So Justin Bieber is he's sitting in the studio with his headphones on his head, right? And the Otis thing comes up, and we're like getting ready for Justin to rap over it, and it goes, "Never leave her." And the first line of his rap is Justin Bieber.
Oh, bro. No. See, this is why I can't. Look,
But it's actually kind of good. It's actually kind of good.
I have said on this show, I have a lot of respect for Justin Bieber. I think 99% of humans, if given the amount of money and fame he was given at the age he was given it, would be dead or in jail or worse. And the fact that that dude has had very little public controversy, to my knowledge, is amazing.
He peed in a mop bucket once.
And he said, fuck Bill Clinton. He is a not shitty person and needs to get more credit for that. It's hard to not be a shitty person when you become a billionaire and famous at 14. Like, one of the most famous people on the planet. It's been since before this kid's balls dropped. You know what I mean? Baby, 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 oh. And Bieber's got a hog. People forget that. People try to forget that.
Wait, have we seen his hog?
Yeah.
There was a picture of his hog
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
If you're on the internet, what was the other thing we taught people about the internet earlier?
Pig poop balls.
Yeah, there was something else too though. You've been getting all kinds of knowledge.
Nancy
you didn't
Reagan
want.
throat goat.
Yep. If you're not on the internet, you're learning a lot about the internet culture today.
I forgot. I totally forgot. I have in fact seen Justin Bieber's penis.
Yeah. Kid's got a good dick on him, and that is something people also try to bury. They don't like to give Bieber credit.
He also tries to bury his dick.
Well, I'm sure he succeeds with his wife,
Alec Baldwin's niece.
a Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin killed a man.
That's a crazy
woman.
fucking family to marry into right there. Alec Baldwin is a murderer. I still can't believe that happened. You know how much that sucks if that's your family member? Nobody takes that seriously. That's a hilarious story to everyone except the person whose family is surviving them.
Imagine, like, again, it's not funny.
It is. You're laughing.
No. It is funny. It is funny.
You're laughing.
The fact
it's
that
funny.
she died is not funny. However, I was in my brain, I was postulating the idea that, let's say she was an only child, and like, and she was like the last person to carry on her family's bloodline.
Oh,
And
man.
her bloodline was ended by Alec Baldwin.
By accident, dude. See, that type of shit fucking happens.
It's fucked.
It's the universe. It's a crazy place, bro.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Soulja Boy made the album. After all the controversy around getting left off Donda 1, the song is trash. It's one of the worst songs on the album. It's called First Time in a Long Time, and frankly, it should be cut from the final version if Kanye knows what's good for him, which would be hilarious and another thread in the Soulja Boy Kanye beef, which is also good for everyone headlines-wise. So just take my advice here, Kanye, and do the right thing. And then another trash song would be Too Easy. I do not know what he's doing here. He's just going, too easy, Drew Brees, too easy, too easy. And it's fucking terrible.
You say
and
Drew
I'm not
Brees?
really that far off with the version I just gave you. It's pretty fucking close to the song. And yes, that's what you ask yourself as you listen. This motherfucker just say Drew Brees? What is happening? And he did. That's the song. It's fucking awful. I'm actually going to pull up the lyrics so I can read them to you. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It's not Drew Brees. He says too breeze, too breezy, two of them, two keys, too breeze, too easy, too breeze, too easy, too breeze, too easy, yeah. Actually, the song gets better from there, but just the beginning that I thought was Drew Brees over and over makes it, it's not a great start to the song. I'll just put it Anyway, Donda 2 is awesome. What the fuck was that?
That was
That
odd.
was the stem player, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the stem player turning off.
What did it? I didn't know it speaks when it dies.
It says something.
I think it said adios.
I don't think it said
What if he
adios.
just programmed that at the end of it, though? Last thing, I wanted to say adios before it turns off. The programmer's like, fuck it. Just does it. Adios. That's what it sounded like to me. Anyway, great album. Don't know how you're going to listen to it. You can steal it.
I'm not
I'll
trying
narc
to
on you if you do.
I'm not trying to break the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the
Can
law.
I borrow? What does it cost to rent a stem player?
I'll lend you that for $1 a day. Yeah,
It's a
that's
pretty good
my
deal.
rate.
It's a pretty good deal.
It's just a J-Bone rate, though. It's a friends and family rate. Y'all don't know about that. It's $400 if you want it for a day. If you don't know me like that.
They could just buy. They could buy one.
Nope, mine is better. Mine is better.
It does already come preloaded.
Comes preloaded. You don't even have to go to the website and do it all yourself. It does take a little while. Yeah, there's my review. Today's RBP is brought to you by Indochino. Whether it's finding a signature color, wearing a more flattening cut, or getting a new statement piece, the right detail can take your wardrobe up a notch. This year, let Indochino take care of your 2022 style edit. You can customize everything from suits and shirts to chinos and bomber jackets at prices more affordable than you might expect. And I can tell you personally, the Indochino experience is incredible. Whether you go to one of their showrooms and get measured up or you do it from home, I have done both now. Went to the Indochino in Austin the first time through, but for my most recent order, I measured myself at home, checked out all their wares and just strictly online, and the end result is still the best custom clothing experience I've ever had. Indochino offers completely custom-fitted suits, shirts, casual wear, and more at surprisingly affordable prices, so you can get a wardrobe personalized to your style and taste without spending a fortune. Every piece is made to your exact measurements, and you can customize every detail. You can choose everything about your suit, including the fabric, lapel, monogram, and statement linings. You can create a suit that fits you and your style perfectly. The best part, Indochino's suits start from just $429, and shirts from $79 with all customizations included. I just grabbed myself a new button-down and slacks because I've got weddings to go to this year. They could not fit better, and I couldn't be more excited to wear them. Give yourself a style edit that sets the tone for the rest of the year with Indochino. Get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more by using promo code RBP at Indochino.com. That's $50 off a purchase of $399 or more at INDOCHINO.com. Promo code RBP. So this morning, I got up early, went out and participated in the democratic process our great nation offers. Look, I've got my I voted sticker on, Jared. It's proof.
You could have bought that on eBay.
Undeniable proof that I participated. Well, I explain this finger condom I've been wearing the whole show.
I was wondering why you kept wearing that. Thought maybe you were going to give me a prostate exam.
Yeah, I was going to come stick my pinky up your ass the second this thing ends is the real reason. But I have had it on the whole show just to see if anybody would notice. And Jared apparently did. So mission accomplished, Jared.
Who'd you vote for?
That's my business, not yours. Let me get back to my voting. I had a spiel for voting, though. I participated in the democratic process that our great nation offers. A process, I would add, that is under attack daily by both outside forces and, unfortunately, our own elected officials. So I did my duty as a good American who fucking hates the strong majority of the people who are supposed to be representing us in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol, and I stood out there in line for hours and hours fighting wind and snow. I'm kidding. It was a beautiful morning, and there were 0.0 people in line, which is part of the reason I'm doing this segment, because it is still weird that it's so hard to get people to go vote. Like, this place was empty, bro. 9:30. It's not like I was early. I was bumming it. Thought I was going to have to stand there for a while. I walked right in, took 10 seconds. I walked right out. And the other piece of this is that my lady pointed me toward, my girlfriend rather, pointed me toward 411, vote411.org. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the thing that makes it super simple for you to like get a feel for exactly who the elected officials are on the ballot, right? Because the biggest deterrent for me historically in voting, especially in the midterms and stuff like that, or the primaries or whatever, not the midterms, excuse me.
Sorry to interrupt. What's the biggest thing we voted for right now?
Primaries.
Oh, for governor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah, the biggest
deterrent
thing,
to me was always that there's people there's too much research you have to do. If you really wanted to be educated enough about each individual candidate, it would take hours and hours and hours of your time, especially pre-internet. Like, that is true. So to be a truly educated voter, like, is a pretty rare thing. But there are resources like vote411.org that work in your favor now, where you literally just go and you this is not an ad, this is just something I used like today to vote. And I found it to be super helpful for a lot of the smaller stuff on the ballot that I don't have time to go read about or understand, right? So I need somebody to give me a quick summary of exactly what it is that this official believes, or this official believes, or this candidate believes, or this candidate believes, or whatever. And that's what that website did for me.
Did you vote for Stara Stogner for Texas Railroad Commissioner?
I don't think so.
She is the candidate who exposed her breasts in her campaign ad.
Ballsy.
Mm-hmm. No,
Titsy?
Titsy. Yep, that's the real thing that happened.
I hope I voted for her then. I'm pro breasts.
Here's a headline from Texas Monthly, very, very reputable publication in Texas.
Okay.
One candidate shows her breasts. Another dies tragically. A third is accused of graft. The campaign for a seat on the Texas Railroad Commission, usually a low-profile affair, is getting more attention. And that's a good thing.
Because our fucking state is a dumpster fire now. I do not know what is happening, but we are literally moving in reverse.
And by the way, so in the campaign ad, she's in underwear and she's wearing no shirt and she has stars like the Texas Star pasties on her nipples and she's straddling an oil derrick. I'm not kidding. This woman is on the
This is
ballot.
like out of a Will Ferrell movie, bro.
I know. And and in one, she's riding the oil derrick like a horse and is holding a cowboy hat up in the air and her tatas are flying around. Again, censored with a star sticker.
I respect the move.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the move. I hope she gets to be a commissioner of a railroad someday. Just not our railroad, but a railroad commissioner.
Here's her Twitter bio. The unicorn ushering in the next era of Texas energy independence.
All right. Well, dude, you got a little... Wow, okay. Okay. That wasn't my reaction to Jared showing me a picture of her. Just her head. Just her fucking head. I did not see anything else. It's just her head on the screen. Jared can attest. Jared, say it was just the head.
It was just a head.
It was just the head. It's Cade. It's our coworker. Somebody's using the restroom outside the studio, and Jared's like, are we about to be shot?
You never know. I'm on high alert right now.
I mean, you do never know, but what the fuck?
Place is getting
Think
invaded.
the Russians are coming in here?
They could be. I'm Ukrainian, half Ukrainian.
Oh, man. It's got you you're half paranoid right now as a result. Well,
I'm going to vote after this.
oh, yeah, you need to. So when I was there, someone's 75-year-old grandmother taught me how to use a condom. And I was just like, what the? Literally, she fucking hands me the thing and she's like looking down and doing it herself. She's like, slide it on the tip and use 2 fingers to roll it down. And she looks up at me and goes, oh, you got it. And I'm like, I just...
Did she bring out a miniature banana to show you how to put it on?
No, she's doing it on her finger, man. And I was just like, this is way too sexual for this early in the morning while I'm trying to do some voting. The least hot thing ever.
How hard were you after that?
That's the problem with voting. But the problem with voting is that it's not sexual enough. Think about it. We use sex to sell every other fucking thing on the face of the earth. Why isn't it that we can't somehow weaponize sex in our favor with the voting stuff? How?
You're like talking yourself into wishing you had voted for Sarah Stogner now.
I'm just
Whipping out her
saying,
tits.
if you mix sex and politics more, good things are bound to happen. We've mixed just pure evil in politics for far too long. Let's try a different ingredient, and I say that ingredient should be sex.
I agree. I want to see
Sex
Barack
positive
Obama's
podcast.
penis.
Sex positive. All right, that will do it for today's show. Happy 27th birthday to Andrew. Thank you for listening. Go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast for ad-free episodes. We have a new ad-free episode drop every Friday that's exclusively available to our supporters on Patreon. So go today, patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. We also do mental health minisodes on there, columns on there, all kinds of good stuff. Follow us on Instagram at The Ross Bolen Podcast, on TikTok at The Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. Jared and I will be back tomorrow with another episode right here, and then we'll be back Friday on Patreon. Follow Jared at Jared Borislow on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at WR Bolen on Twitter and Instagram. Until next time, peace be with you, and also with you.